Hello, welcome back. My name is Federica and I'm a yoga teacher. I live in London. If you are new here, I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to give it a like and subscribe at the end. So here are some things I learned over the past year and 3 months since I've been teaching full-time, and some of the stuff I wish I knew beforehand. So we're gonna start by tidying up because the house is a mess, and I don't know why once you're an adult I feel like it's just an ongoing issue. Like every week you clean your house, you tidy away, you do all the laundry, and then it lasts about a day and then everything starts going downhill. I also have been lately really tired, and when you look around and it's messy, it's just not very helpful, is it? So we're gonna start with that. Let's do it. So number 1, money, saving, costs, investments and debt. Yep, sounds a bit scary, but that's why I put it right as the first thing to talk about. Right, now the chaos room. So teacher trainings are quite costly. If you haven't done one before, the initial teacher training can cost anywhere around £4,000. I would say that's a pretty standard benchmark. Okay, the room is tidy, and so it's quite good to think about your savings before you dive right into it. For some people, maybe £4,000 doesn't sound like a lot, but it was definitely a lot of money for me. I worked in a retail shop at the time, and before that I worked various different hospitality jobs as barista and waitress, so coffee shops, restaurants, and so I didn't have lots of savings. And putting down £4,000 on the table didn't come that easy for me, and it kind of created this rhythm of over time building up more and more debt. So it's quite important to consider how much money you have in your bank account right now and how your lifestyle will change as you become self-employed yoga teacher. How much money will you be able to earn roughly at the start? Don't overestimate, underestimate, I would say. I think I was a little bit too ambitious in terms of my hopes of how many hours I would be able to teach and earn. Morning. So yesterday didn't quite go to plan. I had to stop filming because the afternoon was a bit rushed. I had to... I'm not going to go into too much detail, but yeah. It was a bit of a disaster. So today we're gonna make up for it, finish the bits that we need to, and currently walking Spud. He's eating his grass. Bless him, he puked again last night. He, for the first time, had rabbit patty, and I think that's what made him sick. So he was so upset about it. So this morning he's a bit slower. Got a bit of time, so it's okay. I just need to catch up with the things that I haven't finished in the house yesterday. And then I've got one more morning class in the same location, but it's actually online. Anyways, for the moment I'm enjoying the sun while he's enjoying his grass. But the reality is that studios are having a regular schedule, and you kind of are just gonna have to be able to fit in somewhere in their schedule. They're probably not gonna be hiring lots of people at once unless it's a brand new place. So it takes some time to build up a full-time schedule. Therefore, at the start of your career, you're gonna be spending more money than actually earning, and I think that's something that's important to underline, so you don't end up with debt like I did. And there's also a little bit of an urge, I think, when you finish your teacher training, when you graduate, to do more and more. Like there's this hunger for knowledge. Obviously you just opened a massive can of worms. There's so many exciting things there. Now you might want to start to specialize in different teaching styles that are more aligned to you. While all of that is lovely and great and important to continue learning and not stop there, all of these things will have more and more costs that will build up. So be wise of when you take the trainings, not just from the perspective of being able to digest all the information and effectively implement it in your teachings, but also for your livelihood. I've got my coat on and I haven't put the lid on him, so he's not happy. And it's because he's not coming. I need to run some errands. Sorry, mate.
Please, may I come with you? Pretty please, I'll be a good boy. No, you won't.
you won't be a good boy, because the place I'm going to is this one here, and he doesn't like it. Tomorrow he's getting his vaccination, and I need to go and pick up some tranquilizer for him. Yep, muddy boots for a muddy walk. I'll be back in a sec. I just arrived. It's absolutely chucking down. I had a bit of a sliced pizza from cheeky Lidl I picked up earlier today. Continuing editing this video. It's 6 p.m. now, so soon I should take out Spud for his evening walk once it stops raining, and then I think I'm just gonna end the night on a hot bath. Another point, which is the difference between teaching full-time, part-time, years of experience versus quality of teaching. I think it's a bit confusing, or maybe even misleading at times. Sometimes you see people or teachers that maybe have loads of years under their belt, but I don't really feel like it's reflected in the way they teach, and vice versa. So just because you've only started out teaching a couple months ago, that doesn't mean you don't have a good product, you don't have a good quality class to offer. So don't put yourself on a pedestal, but also don't necessarily compare yourself to all the teachers around you, and don't think that unless you become a senior teacher in 10 years that you can't do certain things. And just make sure that you're maintaining a good quality, if not increasing the quality of your classes as you get on. Teaching full-time or part-time won't necessarily make the difference. What will make difference is your consistency. So just be consistent with your classes, whether you're delivering them 10 times a week or 1 time a week. Just really be consistent with it. My next point will be that will actually help you with your teaching and planning your classes and figuring out your why and all of these things is take more classes, be a student, stay a student, keep on learning from other people's mistakes. Oh boy, I've been taking quite a few classes with a variety of different teachers. I always try and mix it up. And even if I don't enjoy the class as a student, now first of all, I'm not saying that they are necessarily bad teachers. Not everyone is made for everyone, right? And same way I am not for everyone, and you won't be. But you can learn from, quote unquote, their mistakes, or the things you didn't enjoy in their classes, maybe a way they phrased something, maybe a cue they gave, it didn't work for you. So then you can remember it, and then you can know how it made you feel, and you can take a note that you maybe not want to take. It will help you actually think and judge yourself better as well. So you take that constructive feedback from your experience from their class to your own teaching. And the same way you might get inspired, you might try a transition, you might hear a new cue, just going to be very inspirational, and you wanna bring it with you. I just sorted some apples, and then I just add a little bit of milk, tahini, into the water that has been simmering, and then a bit of oats and whatever I fancy. So I put today flax seeds and some flower seeds and pumpkin seeds as well. And breakfast is ready. And I always add a bit of spices. I like mine with turmeric and, oh, nearly dipped it out. Turmeric and cinnamon. That's why it's yellow. Oh no, I'm zooming in. It is tastier than it looks. Cappuccino is very sleepy. He likes a little snooze after his walk. Anyways, I haven't filmed over the weekend. On Friday I got my period and I started off the first day with cramps. I sometimes get them really, really painful to the point that I'm unable to do anything, like I'm out of business. Saturday I actually ended up teaching. I forgot I was covering for someone. Well, I didn't forget on the day, but I forgot during the week that it's going to be happening, and then I looked at my schedule and I was like, oh yeah, the cover is actually this week. So I was teaching on Saturday and then just chilling in the afternoon, and Sunday then I had lots of pain again, so I woke up in the morning, headache, loads of cramps, lower back pain, took a hot bath. That really helped with a bit of ibuprofen. And then I just took the day off because I knew that if I really wanted to do some chores around the house, so I don't need to do them Monday. I kind of just am learning the fact that if my cycle is telling me to slow down, I have to slow down, because then I'll pay the price the next day even more so. Just mindful of that. I didn't sleep much last night, so we'll see how much energy I have if I'm gonna crash during the day. But at 1 p.m. I'm meeting a dog walker for Spuddy. So I'm gonna go out for a walk, and then I'm teaching online at 2:30. So if I get the crash, I'm gonna have to actually push through it. Basically, there's two things that I really want to do is clean the floors. Having a dog means that like your floors get dirty really quickly. They just drool water everywhere as they drink, etc. So the floors are always a bit of a mess. So I want to clean those, and just because I feel gross walking on them barefoot. And I also need to go to gym, and I'll be honest with you, I know already that like my brain wants to procrastinate on both of those, and usually that means the thing I want to procrastinate on I need to do first. But because it's two separate things, I'm like, which one do I do first? But I think it might have to be the floors. So the next thing on the list, I decided, because I'm getting to the slumber bit now, that I'm actually gonna go to gym. I have zero freaking motivation to go, but I know that if I don't go now, then it's more likely it won't happen. I know that if I try and sit down now to work, because of the state of mind I'm in and how tired I feel, I will not be actually productive, and I will end up scrolling on my phone or watching something on YouTube. But I've got some other projects I need to start prepping for. That I can't exactly disclose just yet what they are, but they are yoga related stuff. So there's going to be some creative work I'll be doing, and I need to sit down and work on that. Apparently it's 10:36. So that's it. So you see, every Monday is a little bit different, and that's something that took me a while to understand, that it is okay and it is just what it's going to be like. The headphones I was using, the big ones, don't work. It's gonna be cheap, no music, oh my god. Oh no, you puked, didn't you? That my headphones don't work and the dog pukes on the ground, is that a sign that I shouldn't go to the gym? Just thinking. Just thinking. Back from the gym. No music gym is really shit. I did bring my speaker with me because I was hoping that I can play music loud if it's quiet. But by the time I made it there, it was like 11, so it's like, I think people tend to go work out around the lunchtime hour, the ones that work from home. Sometimes you get the residential gym completely to yourself. Oh yeah, and my period did a little peekaboo, so she's back, she hasn't gone yet. So I decided to do upper body, because when I don't have like the oomph, then I do upper body, and when I feel kick-ass, then I can do legs. I might have one more quick coffee. I don't know if I need one, or if I'm being just naughty. I need to meet the dog sitter in probably 15-20 minutes. So I'm not gonna have enough time to have lunch now. I'm gonna have to have lunch after. But I need a snack. What do I do? What do I do like a protein smoothie? I'm gonna have iced coffee, fuck it, with a little bit of whipped cream on top. If you know, you know. There we go. Voila! Eating the cream with the sugar cinnamon. I will never grow up, and I'm okay with that. It's almost like baby chino, but for adults. Delish! Why are you this cute? Oh, you're so sleepy. I don't know how I'm gonna get you out for a walk. It does not look like he wants to walk. Do you wanna go for a walkie? Yeah? You do though? Ah, good. You wanna go walkie? Shall we go walk? Yes? If he gets excited and he stands up, then that's a yes. Oh, he's doing a good stretch. Yes. Good stretch. Okay, let's go meet your new friend that you don't yet know. Exit Jack. He was so lovely. He was really good with Spud, and they liked each other. So it's a good match. He can have him on Fridays for now, and in case his work changes, then that's fine. But I'm very excited for Spuddy because he's really lovely, and he has an understanding of dog training and the importance of maintaining certain rules. Waiting for the class starts at 2:30. It's a cherry yoga class, so I'm logged on. I'm waiting to see if anyone joins. And then the next point I wanted to touch on is the difference between being self-employed and an employee. For me, this was pretty new. So if you already are self-employed, you probably can skip this point completely. But for me, it was a massive change. I always worked as an employee for a bigger corporation that would provide me with holidays, days off, sick days, you know, all of that was covered, insurance. And now I had to fend for myself in all the different areas. And whilst being self-employed is super exciting because you're your own boss, it also comes with a huge amount of responsibility and accountability. I think easily overlook the struggles that it comes with. So definitely I think do more research on what it entails, and by research I mean speak to actual people that are already self-employed. So make some yoga teacher friends that have been already teaching. Maybe they're in the first year of teaching or second year of teaching. Of course, take everything with a grain of salt. It's always going to be a personal journey, personal experience. What works for one person or doesn't might work or not work for you, and that's okay. But just inform yourself from a variety of different angles so you can prepare yourself best for that change, to get into the rhythm of being self-employed. And by that I also mean that I was really used to having that 9-to-5 job lifestyle where you know what time you need to get up, you know what time you need to be at work, you know your responsibilities and the tasks you need to complete, and once you finish you clock off and off you go having fun with your friends. But being a yoga teacher, it doesn't quite work that way. The hours are very different. We don't work the 40 hours a week schedule. My full-time schedule at the moment has 14 classes on, so technically it's 14 hours, but we know that it is not 14 hours of actual work. It's much more that goes into it. And so it's very irregular, and the classes are in the morning, lunchtime, evening, and then you're gonna have these dead hours in between classes that you somehow need to fill in, and you might feel guilty for not doing anything. But then on the other hand, you might not have full weekends. Maybe initially you only find weekend classes that you can teach. You might be losing out on some time with friends and family. So there's going to be lots of shifts and changes in the first year until you find a schedule that works for you and you're happy with it. I'm currently super pleased with my full-time schedule, but it took me some time to get there. So there's other things you need to consider in terms of, this is my next point, earning money, is you know, how much energy you give out and what you receive in exchange. Yes, we know that yoga is a spiritual practice, and back in the day you wouldn't charge a penny for it, but we live in modern society and it's just not possible. So you're gonna have to charge for your offerings, so don't undercharge yourself. I know that when you are new, it's easy for a long time to just keep on undercutting the prices. It's okay for you to start with donation-based classes or a cheaper price, but do charge something. And then once you feel like you've got the experience, and not just that you feel like you've got the experience, because maybe sometimes your brain will trip you up and will tell you that you don't. If you know that you need to pay the bills and what you're currently earning isn't cutting, then start charging more or look for places where they pay you better. So over time I had to let go of some of my classes just because they were taking up time on my schedule, but they weren't earning me enough money, and that's okay. And just to be clear, the typical classes, an average class pays around £30 an hour in London. Some are a little bit more, some are even a little bit less, which I think is very cheeky in this. I think the price should be now 30 minimum, but some places will do it. So just be mindful of that if a place charges you £30, that's a standard rate. And you know, if you're gonna teach 10 plus classes a week, you're still just gonna be earning about the same amount you would with like a minimum paying job, because you're then gonna have to pay taxes off of that, and you're gonna have to also account for all your holidays and sick days, in which those you don't earn any money. Nothing covers that. So just from purely teaching classes, you probably won't earn more than you used to if you were working a basic pay rate type of job. And if you were in a high earning job, then it might be even a downgrade. So it might really be worth it to consider keeping some of your existing job and teach alongside it until you establish yourself, until you figure out what is it that you exactly want to achieve with your teaching. Whether you want to focus more on retreats and workshops and other offerings, something a bit more creative, or tap into other passions that you have. And that takes me to my next point. So what's important to you, and finding your why in your teaching. Now, this is not going to land in your lap the first month, the first week, not even the first 6 months. I still am figuring it out myself, but I'm getting a clearer picture every day. And it really just comes from doing the thing. So yeah, I wish I could say there's a shortcut. There really isn't, but maybe the one shortcut that there is frequently checking in with yourself and checking in with your why, and what's important for you, what works for you in your schedule currently, what doesn't, where can you make some changes. And a little bit touching back on the point of the retreats and the workshops, these type of things and other creative revenues, they take a lot of time to build up to the actual money making from there. So it's not like you're just gonna advertise a retreat, you know, you pick a place and you're gonna advertise it and now you're suddenly gonna have sold out tickets and you earn the money. It takes a lot more time and work than people realize. So don't count on those retreats and workshops from the start. They're not gonna happen immediately. You can start working on them at some point once you get really confident with your teaching, but just know it's going to take a few months of work before you get to them. Back in the office, so I was working on the macrame project, then we nipped out, sorry my laptop is a bit loud, then we nipped out for a quick walk. Spuddy needed to use the loo, and then I started editing this vlog. So continued editing. I like to work through the footage as I go, so I just need to like kind of puzzle it together towards the end. Yeah, I'm probably just gonna edit until I feel like it and then go to bed maybe around 10ish. Well, start unwinding around 10ish, or probably before I sleep more like 11. Tomorrow morning I'm teaching at 7:30 in Farringdon Gym Box, so I need to wake up around 6 to get out of the house by 6:30. And yeah, so that is what I'll be doing the rest of the night. And I suppose this is an outro then. I think I've covered all the points. Hope you enjoyed. If you got any comments, any thoughts you want to share, any questions about becoming a full-time yoga teacher, or any of your own observations, then please do share them. I would love to read them. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
And Spuddy says subscribe.